Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about things that we must remember during a service. Because let's be real, y'all, it's tough out in these streets. These real clients and model streets are completely different than the educational streets that we used to be in, and it's so easy to forget the things that we know, right? So we're going to talk about it today. Let's go. Hi guys, I'm Lady T, a new lash artist and Esty, and the whole point of this channel is to make the journey easier for you and for me, right? The whole point is to share the wins, the losses, the knowledge, and really make this journey easier for all of us, right? To create a community where we're sharing, we're caring, and we are all winning and reaching them dreams. I'm also here for the DIY diva who just wants to figure this out, right? Like, she want to eventually tag in a professional, but right now she's just trying to figure it out on her own. I'm here for you too, girl. So if you're liking what you're seeing, definitely hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and let's go. Alright guys, so let's talk about the things that I find myself forgetting all the time, even though I know how important these things are. And hopefully me talking about them today will help me remember, will help you remember, and will help us just keep delivering that bomb service every single time somebody sits in our chair. So the first thing, client consultation. This deserves its own video because I got a lot to say about this, and it's so huge and it's so important. It deserves its own video. But really quick, don't forget the client consultation. I found that, I found myself in a couple different situations where it was really easy for me to forget or to skip the client consultation. The first one was, most of my clients and my models are friends and family right now. So I really found myself chatting with them all the time. So the first 20 minutes of the appointment would be just us chatting and talking and catching up. And then the next thing you know, I'd be like, oh crap, I gotta get in the service. I only have so much time. And I don't necessarily want to cut out all of the catching up and all of the chit chat, because I do feel it's important to have that camaraderie, to have that personalized service with the person that you're dealing with. But for me, I did need to kind of pull back just a little bit, or try to work in the client consultation as we're talking. So there's ways to get around that, but just maybe to keep in mind if you're in that situation, just try to figure out some different ways to really maneuver through that. Again, I want to talk about that more in a separate video, but just an idea right now. Another situation I found was, because I am quite mobile, I go to people's homes. I found that because I would take about 10 to 15 minutes to set up, I would feel bad then taking another 15 to 20 minutes to go through the client consultation. So for me, there's a couple different things I could do there as far as my timing, but really changing my mindset to understand how important the client consultation is. It is imperative. It is a part of the service. It can't be skipped. It's not just paperwork. It's not just client intake forms. It's a part of the service that really is imperative for me, for the client, and for our future together. So do not skip that client consultation. Number 2, talk to your client. Talk to your client throughout the process. I found myself being so zoned in on trying to deliver this wow service that I would forget to talk or breathe. And it would be like 2 hours later, and I realized I haven't said anything about what I'm doing, anything about the products, anything about anything. And so now I've got to start this conversation 2 hours in that really just might seem a little awkward for both of us. So really remember to talk to your client throughout the process. And again, you want to vibe, you want to really kind of see how your client's feeling and kind of vibe off them. So if it's a client who really just wants to relax and be quiet, you definitely want to honor that. Or if it's someone who's ready to chit chat, you want to honor that too. But either way, taking some time to talk about the products you're using and why you're using them really helps to educate the client so that they feel like they actually have some knowledge and it wasn't like you were holding everything back from them. It also helps you, helps them trust you because you're talking and you're sharing what you know, and it's not something that's going on behind the scenes and they're kind of questioning, do you even know what you're doing? And lastly, it also helps with the retail sales at the end. If you are constantly talking to your client about the products you're using, at what step, why you're using it, what they can expect, it makes it so much easier to sell them at the end because you've already started to talk about the products. But when you're just not saying anything at all, it just makes it weird. And again, you don't have to talk to your client the whole time. If I'm talking to a lash client about why I use the shampoo and why it's important to cleanse their lash, I don't have to talk to them about it the whole entire time. I just need to take a minute or two and make sure I'm telling them what product I'm using and why it's so important. So just take a minute or two to really talk to your client about what you're doing, and that is really going to, again, help them feel educated, help them trust you, but it's also going to help take this one service from that one time to a process. It helps the client understand that this is imperative. If you don't talk to them, then this might be this client that only comes when it's their birthday or only comes when it's a special occasion. If you talk to the client and help them understand what they can expect and how this will change the game for them, it makes it that more important to them, and they're going to want to keep seeing you so that y'all can keep making this magic and keep getting to where they want to be. So really make sure you're talking to your client throughout the process. Is really going to change the game for everything. Don't forget your infection control, sanitation, disinfection, sterilization. Do not forget your universal practices. It's so easy when you're dealing with family or friends to skip wiping this down, or to want to reuse this, or to just wipe that off, but you can't. You have to treat every single person like you don't know what they have. Make sure that you're wiping down your surfaces. Make sure you're throwing away stuff that you can't reuse. Make sure you are sanitizing, disinfecting, and sterilizing things you're supposed to. Make sure you do it each and every time so it becomes a habit. It becomes something that you do without thinking, and that way you can make sure that you are constantly taking care of your clients and your station, because you don't want nobody taking nothing home or getting something or something going down and you ruin your reputation before you even get started. Don't do that to yourself. Take the time. It doesn't take that long. It's really not that big of a hassle. Do not forget your infection control. Sanitize, disinfect, and sterilize. You know what to do. Don't skip it. Look, don't forget to rebook your clients. I can't tell you how many times I would do a service and then it would just be, I would just stop. I never said, hey girl, so let's go ahead and schedule, or let's go ahead. I would just stop. And luckily for me, most of my models and clients would actually mention it themselves. They'd be like, okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule the next facial. Or they'd like, okay, can we go ahead and schedule the fill now? So that was lucky for me, but it's not going to keep being lucky. Eventually I'm going to run out of luck. So it's important for me to say, hey, this facial was really all about doing this and this. Let's go ahead and schedule your next facial so we can really dive into this. Hey, your lash set looks absolutely beautiful. If we want to continue these lashes to look as beautiful as they look right now, let's go ahead and get you in for a 2-week or 3-week fill. Go ahead and rebook. If your client if your client needs to, they'll say, hey, let me get back to you later, or let me check my book. That's fine. You have to make sure you bring that conversation up, and you will find that a lot of times they're going to want to go ahead and rebook right then and right there for you and for themselves, because once they're gone, out of sight, out of mind, So you want to go ahead and take care of that right then so that you don't have to bother them later on and try to get that rebook once they left your office. So make sure you rebook. Sales. Make sure that you are trying to do retail sales. Now, again, if you're like me, you're not really a salesman and you really don't like being that person. I mean, hell, that's why I got out of Mary Kay. But changing your mindset around retail sales will really help you feel better about selling things to your client. we have to switch it from a pushing products on them to helping them when they're not in your chair, helping them get to where they want to go, really helping them see the best results is how we need to switch our mind around it. And again, if we're having that conversation throughout the service, talking about the products we're using, why we're using these products, the benefits of these products, then it won't seem so weird to talk about, hey, I've got these products and here they are right here. I'd be more than happy to sell them to you for this amount of dollars. That won't seem so weird when you've been talking to them the whole time, because you're weaving the story. You're setting the scene. You're showing them how important this product is and what you're doing, and it's going to make them feel like, if I want to get to where I want to go, or if I want to keep looking like this, I need to get these products so that I can keep on doing it, you know? So really making sure you have a process around selling will really make it easier for you, but don't miss that opportunity, because yes, your initial service is going to put money in your pocket, but those retail sales can really change the game and really kind of take that one service and really boost it to a game-changing amount for you in where you see yourself and what you make monthly. So don't forget those retail sales and make yourself a process. Figure out how you want to do it so that you don't feel like a salesman. It's just the process and you got a nice flow going on. Lastly, take the pictures, take the video. I know, as a creator, this should be something that I easily remember, but I found myself forgetting to take before pictures or after pictures or during pictures, and I end up having this client and I would only have 1 or 2 pictures to be able to use, and then I'd be out of stuff to my next client. And when your models or your clients are few and in between, you've got to get the most out of each and every one. Take 50 pictures, take different angles, take different snapshots of what you're doing so you can repurpose that content constantly, and it doesn't seem stale or it doesn't seem like you're using the same thing over and over again. It might be that one client who really gets you through a good month or so of social media. So make sure you take the pictures and you take the video. What I started to do is I actually have a checklist that sits on my cart now, and it has take before picture, take after picture. Like, it has a list of pictures I must get from each client. And even if I don't check every single one off based on timing, seeing the list is a visual reminder, and it helps me get way more pictures than I did in the very beginning. So really make sure you're taking the time. I've actually built in more time into my services, so I've padded in about 15 to 20 minutes into each service. That way I don't feel like I'm taking away from the client's time, but I'm still getting what I need, and they don't know any different because that's just the time that I've scheduled the appointment. But mentally, I know that I have this extra time built in, so take my time to take those before videos, take the time to take those pictures, and not feel like I'm taking from the client. So take those pictures. So those are all the things, probably not all of them, but those are the most important things that I find myself really forgetting when I'm in the service that I know are so important and game changing. And I'm hoping that talking about it and you guys listening to me will really help me remember as well as you remember, and really help us give that bomb service to every single person that sits in our chair. So definitely comment down below. Is there something else you want to remind yourself and us about? Because y'all know sharing is caring, and I'm open to it all. So I hope this information helped someone else out there. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. And while you're here on my channel, take a look around, see what else your girl has to offer, and if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.